Okay. For any piece of art, any message, any thesis, any presentation, or even propaganda to be effective, more often than not, the style must be up to par with the substance. With this specific module, I think it's very fitting for the layout to be of a global map that intertwines all the content, all the definitions shown, because I think that allows us to explore concepts that pertain to identity, consciousness, and a sense of belonging. As this module, I think, aptly displays, these are universal questions that affect every aspect of our everyday lives, in the short term and the long term. They're unavoidable. We can avoid them, and we can try to paint over them by saying we're individuals, but that's simply not true at the end of the day, and that's kind of just a cop-out. From what I got from this module, the reach that internalizing notions of race, nationality, and ethnicity are literally as global as the map shown for this presentation. We implant these ideas into ourselves and into the greater tapestry of society, like seeds in the soil, with the media we consume and the people we associate ourselves with, and even by making connection with the land we walk, run, and live on. When I say all this, the term magic soil does carry some weight, and it definitely comes to mind. Further expanding upon my ideas, our identities definitely do blend and remold and reconfigure themselves in relation to other people's identity through the compounded effect of time. It's this interesting type of push-pull, tug-of-war that's very implicit to all citizens of a society where there are set laws and customs and norms and usually, some sense of objective morality and moral compass. In my opinion, in the general definition of what I just said, that's kind of how the definition laid out in this module was majority minority. It's kind of what it was hitting at in its subtext. Things like integration, remigration, immigration force the hand, the invisible hand, to write a new social construct and completely throw away the old one out, just like crumpling it up like a piece of paper. And the new social contract that ends up being written is usually one that not all involved parties will give their consent to or their stamp approval, to use a different term. It's, it's sad to say and it's sad to try to believe once you actually accept it, but you can't just bring a black president into the equation and expect all to be well. And expect all racial grievances or whatever grievances or historical justices to just be forgiven, and expect that a one-time fix is going to be a bandage large enough to cover up whatever bruises, scrapes, and cuts exist above the skin. All in all, what I learned from this module, what I took away from it, was that human beings are the greatest currency to the world, regardless of global warming or not. This presentation really made it clear to me how the thousands of nuances and complexities we carry as human beings are our greatest strength and our greatest weakness simultaneously. That can't be easily amended. But I do think that one potential solution that could be implemented to alleviate some of the stratification and social divisions we see in society is to, in some tangible way, begin to collectively develop a sound critical consciousness, which I think will bleed and lead to, ultimately, a sound collective consciousness. And that's where the true healing begins.